Hello, guys. As we saw in the last class, we have shown creating the admin panel customization basically. And in this particular today's session, we'll be working with something new known as query data from the database and show it to the template. What are the data that we were adding in the super admin panel that has to be added into our particular view to the admin. We have to provide into the we have to provide into the template form is whatever the data we have added that has to be shown in our particular web application. That means web designing. In the web designing we have to show our particular data. So for that we'll be starting our particular piece of code. We'll be starting our particular piece of code basically. So let's see how we people are going to create and how we people are going to add that particular thing. We'll have a look into that particular thing, guys. So let us see. We have to create in the product server. We have to create our particular templates. Good. In the product server, add the directory known as templates. So try to create that particular templates. Just click on a directory templates in the product management. So if you click over here, you can see the templates. In this particular templates, we need to create a few kind of pages basically to view some kind of what we call to view some kind of files showing some kind of products or updating some kind of products and at the same time deleting some kind of products. We have to create all those particular stuff, and basically in the first particular pages we'll be creating like a base.html, whatever the page we do require. We do have to create a one particular page known as a one of the page known as base.html. We'll create one of the base because we have to add we have to create a menu header and as well as footer, right? So for that purpose we'll be creating some kind of a product known as base dot whatever base.html. I will select the html file. There's base.html, and in this particular html just remove all kind of data. Just remove it and just place it as h2 h2, like, or else you can create your particular base file over here also. There is a management product management, and it is type make it a type known as a product management. Once if it's done, you have to add that particular product management. You need to we need to add some kind of bootstrapping concept, because we can't create a css, we cannot create js. So we have to create some kind of a css kind of a thing. So let us go and check it out, our particular bootstrap over here. So let's take it as a bootstrap website. Go to the bootstrap website and select this particular thing. In this, you do have a one particular thing known as a bootstrap, the update one. Click on the read more, and over here you do have a few kind of files over here. Where is that? Yeah, here is a css concept that you do have one of the css concept url. Just copy this particular thing, make it as copy the URL, and we need to make sure that particular URL or a link has to be pasted in our particular website basically. So you can copy from here also. You do have a one particular CSS over here. You can copy any one particular thing, like you do have a .js actually. Okay, let me check. Do we have any other files? Okay, we don't have any kind of files, extra files. So we do have a HTML bootstrap. So make sure this particular thing has to be added into a particular page. So you need to add that particular page. So this is the one particular page known as a .css. Do remember, just copy this particular thing from the CSS. Copy it. Copy and just paste it in the after the title. Just paste it that particular thing in the bootstrap link. Just do paste that. That's it. Automatically the bootstrap is going to be applicable in our particular project actually. Once if it's done, that's good. Now we have to make sure we need to create some kind of a data to make or to show some kind of a data. We have to create some kind of a what we call other pages also, like add product, showing show product, update product, edit product. We need to create a lot of things that we need to make sure have a preview of the particular content actually. So for every particular pages, we need to write some kind of a piece of Python code, right? So every particular Python code will be written in the form of some kind of what we call in a block of codes, that is percentile, that is block block content. So at the same time, you need to close that particular block, that is percentile. You need to close it as a percentile, and over here you need to create an end block. So entire code that you want to write over here, you need to write every particular Python code in this particular block actually. So once if you're done over that, you have to make sure you need to create one particular HTML pages for adding some kind of products, some updating for updating purpose. You need to create some kind of pages. So every time you need to create some kind of pages, guys. So make sure every time if you're doing, you need to create some kind of pages. So let's go to the template, open a template. You do have a base.html, right click, and in this you have to create one more HTML page. Basically the HTML pages that you want to create based upon the requirement that you do need, you have to create that particular thing. Like I do require show products, so I want to click as a show product, UCTS products. So depends upon your particular name, whatever you do require, you can create a show products.html. Just click that particular thing. I got that particular show.html basically. At the same time, I need to create a next one is update products. Basically, I do require an update products. So for that, create a page known as update products. So click on that particular update product. Update product.html. So each particular product we are going to create. And next one, we do have HTML, another HTML we need to create. That is add products. We have created add products. So we need to click on add product dot HTML. Add product.html. Those are the pages that we do have created. And is there any other things that people are missing, like do we need to add any other pages? If you're missing any kind of pages, in the previous class, like we do have a great update, edit, update, show, base, product. Next one, we do require like an details.html page actually. So we need to create, when we click on the particular detail also, we do require one particular thing. So take one particular file known as detail. So product detail, whatever you require. So take it as a product detail, product detail.html basically. So you need to take it as a product.html. So these are the pages that we have created, and we do require, I think, let's see, depends upon the requirement. We people will be adding all that particular pages. So as of now, we don't require any kind of pages. Okay. So we have to remember all these particular pages. Just remove all these particular pages we don't require, as we people are adding all the bootstrap concept. So we don't require all this stuff, as we are getting everything from the HTML base. From this particular HTML base, we are getting all kind of files. So no need to take, or no need to have any kind of code. So do remember this particular thing, and make sure in every particular product to recognize what kind of page it is. Make that particular thing show products. And next one is update products. So try to mention that particular thing known as H2, that is update products, update product. And next one, you do have a add product, that is H2, that is add product, add products. So based upon that your requirement, you need to take this particular file, that is update product. show product, update product, and the product details. So H2. So depends on your particular requirement. You need to take everything. So product details that have been taken, and do we have anything? Yeah. These are the pages that we have created as of now. Now we people has to create some other content. Like in every particular page, you need to add some kind of what we call block content. So do remember, when you people are adding some kind of block content or any kind of code, it has to be implemented in every particular pages. So in a block only, we are going to write all kind of codes. So do remember, don't get forget that you are writing some kind of Python code will be written only in the block of code block, like as we taken here end block. So do remember, we are going to take this particular end block in every particular pages. So every particular page, we need to create this particular block of code. So every time we will be taking this particular block of code will be written in our particular concept. Do remember, and in this particular block, we need to add one particular thing, that is percentile, that is extend. We need to extend our particular base file, right? So do remember that particular thing. We need to take it as an extend block. So there's a, we have to take it as an extend. Is extend, that you have to take your particular block over here, that is a base.html, that you need to take as a base.html. You have to take that as a base.html, that is extends base.html. Once if you've taken that particular base.html, in every particular block, you need to add this particular piece of code. And at the same time here we need to take this particular thing. So take in every particular block of code, you need to implement the same kind of code in every particular pages. So do remember, extends.html you have to add in every particular page, so that you will get to a particular HTML pages. So block of code, add that particular code over here, and make sure this particular end block also available in the add dot product. And at the same time, you need to add this particular block of code over here. Once if you have added this particular block of code, every time that is you need to close the block, right? So you need to end the block. You need to end the block of code. End the block of code. So in this particular manner, I have to take my particular pages has been created. My entire stuff has been created now. So once I created my particular HTML pages, the second part, immediately you have to start writing your particular, run your particular server, and you have to check your particular server basically. So here you have to check your particular server, that is run your particular server. So before running the server, make sure your exam has to be on. Your exam should be on. Do remember that particular thing. And at the same time, when you are running this particular piece of code, you have to make that Python manage.py, that is Python manage.py, that is a run server. Click on run server. Once if you've done this particular thing, now entire particular path was created. So once if it's done, now I have to create my particular piece of code has to be started writing. I need to start writing the viewing my particular products basically. So I have to view all my particular block of code has to be viewed in my particular pages. So every time when I kickstart my particular logical part or a business code, whatever you call that particular thing, I need to create that particular logical code or a business code. I need to start writing in my particular views actually. So there is a where we have a in the views page, we people are going to get start writing our particular piece of code. Every particular time we people are going to write our particular block of code or whatever you people call. we have to write over in a particular category basically. Every time a logical code will be written in only one particular page, that is a views.py. So every time when you're creating, I want to create one of the function. So every time we will be writing a functions in our particular views, that is a show all products. So I want to make that particular thing as an show one actually. So I want to take it as an show all products, where I want to take every particular product has to be taken. So I want to take it as an show. Let's just show that we show all products, where I want to take it as a request. I want to take it as a request and make sure product or products, whatever the local variable. It is a local variable. It's nothing but PROD use a local variable, that is product. I want to take it as a product. I'm not getting any kind of a product. So I have to import my particular, I have to say that a model actually. So here from models import, that is a product is one particular page that I'm going to create. So once if it's done, I need to make sure now I will be getting as product is one of the class. Do remember this is a product is one of the class from the models. So Raj, you people might be getting doubt, Raj, where did you get this particular product, Raj? In the sense, you have to check in the models. In the models, we have a created one of the product known as with a name, class name known as a product. This particular class name, that is nothing but models.py. We are going to get that but in the views actually. So in the views views page, we are taking as a models as a library. Importing product is a class name. Do remember, product is a class name. From the product, I want to take objects. I want to take it as an objects. I want to take objects dot all. Object is nothing but taking all kind of columns or all kind of from the table. I have to take all kind of values. Do remember this particular thing. You need to get this particular all. Once if it's done, I need to take it as a context, where I need to take context is a local variable equals to. I want to create a dictionary known as a product. Products. That is a product. That is a variable known as products. These products is going to call over here. When I'm going to call the context, automatically this particular product value is going to, when I will be using this particular dictionary value known as a products. Do remember this particular thing. Once if it's done, we need to create our particular return function, that is a return, that is render, where request comma, where which particular page we have to take like by creating this particular piece of code, show product, that is nothing but show products is nothing but I want to request some kind of a name known as a show products dot html. So I have to take it as a show product products.html. So this is the page which we are taking this particular page in the views actually. Sorry, in the views we are going to take it as a show.html. This particular show.products.html page was taken. Show.html pages were taken. And once if it's taken, you need to take it as a context. Whatever you want to take it as a context or whatever you want to write, you have to write context. When you call that particular thing known as context, once you are calling context, our particular dictionary is what the library was activated. Do remember. Now, once if it's created, we have to make sure there should be a URL in our particular thing. In the last class, we have created a empty url.py. Now, once if you are done with your particular function, you need to create your particular URL. So once if you are done with the URL, you need to import a library from Django dot URLs space import. You need to import a path. So we do have a two particular path. One is absolute path, and as well second one is a known as a relative path actually. So in the we are getting from our particular what we call what we are going to call this particular thing as from the Django, we are going to get the default path. Automatically it's going to get the paths actually. And here from dot views from the directory known as import show all products. Show all products is nothing but the function name which we are going to call over here to make our particular URL pattern. So here in this URL patterns equals to you need to create a list. In this particular list, I'm going to create some kind of a path actually. So I'm going to take it as a path. In this path, I want to take it, I want to navigate my particular page as a views, views dot show all products. I need to take it as a view. It's not getting like now views. I need to take it as a views. They show all products that views. So where I have to take it as a views dot show all products. Here in the views, it's not getting on the views itself. Import show all products, where I want to take it as now show all product, show all products basically. So it's not working over here. Basically, views import rename where I have to directly import the name, that is import views. Okay. Directly importing the views, importing views. So from the views, it's getting actually. So that's fine, not a problem. So I'm using that particular function name as a show all products is I'm going to use. So once if it's done, now we have to create or we have to check our particular view format now. That is, we have to provide a particular name for this. That is separated with comma. I need to provide a name equals to, that is a show product products show product show products. That is my particular name which I have given that particular thing. So once if it's done, that's well and good. Once if we run our particular project, we will be getting some kind of an known as show products, whatever it is. When we click on that particular show or whatever, when we click on that, where is that show products.html? Not sure what views. Where is views? Yeah, views.html. When we click over there, this particular function is going to execute, and you will get this particular show.html. Whatever you do have a page here, you will be getting these particular pages actually. So depends upon our particular requirement, it is going to show. So do remember this particular thing. Once we click on that particular show all products, automatically it is going to get this particular function. Once the function executes, it is going to get all kind of files or all kind of views is going to get. Once if it's get executed, we need to create our particular designing page actually. So to create our particular designing page, we do have our one particular page known as a show all products basically. Once if in this particular block of code we can create show products. So once if you are done, we have to create our particular show products. So let's see how can we create our particular show products. If you want to create that particular show products, or if you want to make some kind of an update that particular product, you do have a one particular block of cards you have to take in your particular uh, bootstrap, that is known as cards. So select the cards. In this particular cards, you do have a one particular type, image cap and a title, some kind of description and a button. So I want to take this particular block of code. If you have another cards, you can take another cards, but it's okay for us as of now. Just let's go to a particular part, coding part. So in this particular coding part, I want to enter my particular entire code over here. So to show my particular products over here, just click on that and make sure this particular piece of code has to be shown. So once if it's done, I need to make sure this particular block of codes or whatever it is, it has been implemented. This particular piece of code, I have to get data from my particular from my particular database. So to get that particular database, I have to write some kind of an information. Information is nothing but total number of products I do have in my particular product. Let me check. So let me go to my particular thing known as a 127, where 127. Okay. slash, that is admin, and just write it as a Raja and take it as a welcome at the rate 123. It's my superuser in the last class I created. And click on the products. I do have a total number of products is 4 products actually. So once if you have this many of products, that's well and good. Just click on the save, and I got 4 products. These particular 4 products are sequence of items. I do have a 1 2 4. All these particular products has to show in my particular page. For that purpose I need to create a for loop. So for creating a for loop, you need to take it as a percentile, that is a for product, that is product in products, from products. So do remember this particular thing. Once if it's done, so you have to close this particular you need to close this particular conditional block actually. So everything has to close in a particular conditional block, and make sure everything has to run in a proper manner. So every time when you create this particular piece of code, you have to close your particular block of code every time. So once if you're open this particular file, you need to write this particular thing as percentile, that is a end for. You need to make that particular thing as a end for loop. Just make it as end. Once if it's end, that's well and good. And make sure this particular block of code has to be taken in particular. It has to be taken in a particular block. So do remember, it has to take in a particular block. That is nothing but in the for loop. Once do remember, this particular for block has to be displayed if the condition. That means if we do have our particular products. Do remember, if we do have these particular products, that is percentile, that is a if products if the products is going to be percentile, that is I need to make end of that particular block. I have to take end of that particular block. Once if I'm taking that particular end, sorry, not the end block, if block, and if I need to make it as an and if, and over here once the block has been executed, that is percentile, that is else block. Once the else block is done, I need to get one particular piece of code, that is tag p, that is a no product, no products. I'm taking as no products. That is percentile, that is else, that is end block. Okay, we are done with this particular end block, so no required of this particular thing. So once if you are done, you should get a message known as a no products and a particular message only. So over here, I need to take as a div tag, and we make this particular div tag into the center. So it looks good actually. So it looks good. That is center, align center. So once if it's done, that's done. We people have been created a particular block of code that we have written. So now whatever you do require, you need to call your particular images or products, whatever it is. Once if the product has been done, that means if products, that is nothing but if you do have a products, that is for product in production products, that means all the products that you will have in a sequence has to be iterated in the product, and over there you have to provide in the image, and as well as you do have a one particular card title, some kind of a text that you have to display, and at the same time you should have a particular button over here actually. So over here, you need to take now you need to write a particular piece of code or block of code. You need to display all kind of titles, all kind of image. That is what we call. Now you should have a display, the description part and navigation part. You have to write over in our particular block of code. So over here in the image block, I need to write some kind of an image code. That is over here. That is products. That is product dot image, dot URL is one particular thing that we have created, that is product image dot URL. Once if it's done, that is we have to provide with the title, we have to provide the description if you require. So if you don't require a price, or if you don't require any kind of other names, that's up to you people. How do you create, how do you write, that's up to people. It's not mandated to create everything as per my requirement. You can create according to your particular requirement, and as well as your requirements has been taken according to what exactly you require. So over here you need to mention your particular name, that is product dot name that I want to take, and I want to take some kind of a description over here. I want to take some kind of a description part. There is product. I want to take it as a product dot price. I want to take product price. So here I want to take it as some kind of a name known as H4, H5 or H4. So once if you're taking H4, I want to write it as subtitle or something. I want to write it as subtitle. I want to write it as a subtitle. There is a product price. And if you want to mention the description into that, you can add a description also based upon your requirement. That is P, that is paragraph tag. Just close that. Just close that particular thing. In this, I need to add a class equals to, there is card text, card text. Do you remember? And over here in this particular description, I need to add some kind of text, card text, card text. In this, you need to add your particular requirement, that is a product dot description. Product description. Once if it's done, now if you want to add the price, you can add the price. If you want to add some other details that you want to add, that you can add whatever you require. If you want to add create a date, you can go and create some kind of a date. That's up to you. Aiming కావాలి అనేది మీ ఇష్టం. Like whatever you require, you can create that particular thing over here. And now I want to create some other things known as a created date also. I want to add like created at what particular block we have created. We want to create that particular date also. So just make that particular thing close. That is class equals to card text, that is empty -1. And over here I need to provide it as product dot created underscore egg. So at which particular place we have a created product dot created date, that we have to mention that particular created date actually. So always you have to mention the particular created date at what particular time it has been created. So this is what we have been added the details in our particular program. And let's see, and let's go. Once if you're designing your particular views, you need to provide your particular URL, right? So we have a provided URL in the previous thing. Now we people has to in the project we need to create one of the URL. Once if I click on this particular address known as 127.0.0.1, automatically my particular page has to get view actually. So here that is 127.0.0.1. Automatically I need to get my particular path, that is default path I need to fix in my particular project. So for that particular purpose, I need to include some kind of a statement. So let us go to the project. Over here, you do have in a product management, you do have a settings, right? Sorry, in the settings, not in the URLs. You need to fix your particular path. So over here, I want to fix a path known as path. That is where I want to add. That is separate with comma. That is include where I have to add some kind of include. I need to add some kind of production, right? So for that particular product purpose, I need to make it as include over here. I'm getting an error, so I need to add that particular function as include. Once if you're done, now I need to make that particular product has to be navigated. There's a PRODUCT products dot URLs. So I'm going to take it as that particular product.urls, including that particular product.url. So do remember. So once if you're done over there, product.urls. Now we need to make sure that particular thing has to be run our particular program in a successful manner actually. So let us see how does it run and how do we people can check our particular project I mean preview in our particular thing actually. So let us see how can it run and how we people can what we call how we people can implement that particular views also. So let's go and check it out. The URLs in URLs we do have a in product URLs. Just check it out. Product URLs you need to get, you have imported your views also, that is from dot import views, from import views that we have got every particular thing. And in the views part, go to the views part, just check it out. So everything that we got in a product and each and everything that we have included. So over here now we have to run our particular product and we have to check it out whether our particular product is coming fine or not. So before doing that particular thing, you need to check whether your particular server is running fine or not. Yeah, my it says that import views. I'm getting an error in the line number URLs basically. So let me go and check it out. There is over here. I need to mention this particular thing as from dot import. I need to take it as an import, that is views. I'm going to take that particular thing. So let me run this particular thing. Yeah, it's running fine now. Automatically, it's running fine. Just go and click over there. Yep, I got my particular products over here. I got my particular products in a proper manner. So no need to worry about this particular thing. So once if you run, this was done. That is getting my particular products in a proper manner. In a proper manner. This is how we are getting our particular what we call showing all the information that whatever we do require, we got this particular information. And if you require this particular show products into the center, just you can create that particular div tag to make everything into the center. Just let's go and make it view all the products and each and everything into the center. So let's go there, show products. In the show products, we need to make sure every particular thing that is in the for loop or product that we have to create. We do have to create, that is div tag, that is we need to close this particular thing. And over here, I need to take it as a class equals to, that is container that is justify justify that is content center, that is content center. So this is where we made each and every particular content into the center. Once if it's done, I got my particular view part over here, but we have to make another one particular piece of code that we have to write. Everything was center or not, we have to check. So let's see. Let's check it out. Yeah, it's moved a little bit right side, but I required each and everything into what we call exactly into the center part of my particular page actually. So for that purpose we need to make it as justifying our particular row where exactly our particular piece of code is going to be executed, or where exactly it's going to be shown. We have to take that particular piece of code. So let's see how can we people make that particular thing. We'll check it out. So let us check it out. Our piece of code has to be represented in our particular block of code only. So let's go and let's do that particular piece of code over here. So over here, if you people can see, we need to implement two particular piece of codes. One is div tag. Let's close this particular div tag. In this, we do have class equals to the col, and where there is column that you have created, right? So this particular column has to be in the inside, where I need to take a row, justify whatever the container you do have. Take this particular container, and make this particular thing into the center. These are all related to the designing page, guys. So based upon the designing, I have to make my particular page according to that. Class equals to, I want to take it as a center, that is COL, that is in a particular column, I need to represent my particular thing. So once if it's done, I have to take this particular column. So you have to take this particular column, just make that particular thing has been executed. So now I have been created everything that I placed each and every particular thing that I placed it over here in a proper manner. And here, if you people can see, there is a container also. So that is how I placed everything in a center. Now let's see our page. How does it look like? Oops, it's not getting. So I think we need to change anything else to make it as in a center. Okay, based upon the column, like we have to change our particular divs or whatever it is, we need to change our particular for loop actually. So once the for loop has been changed into a particular cards, automatically everything will be adjusted as side by side basically. Do remember that particular part where do we have to represent that particular piece of code. So if you have this particular thing known as a column, known as where it is, there is an image tag that we do have, that is a width of this card tag that I have taken as title and as a card body, and as well as an image body that have been taken. And over here I have taken some kind of thing known as here the card should be like m20, that is m minus 2, m minus 2 actually. At the same time, I need to make sure this particular thing has to be created one more div known as, there is div, where I have to provide this particular div tag, that is class equals to, that is column md of 6. So everything was created over here now. So it's created. Just let me go and just refresh. Everything has to be set in a proper order actually. In the proper order, it has to be get fixed every particular value. Now once if it's done, I think we people are missing somewhere else some kind of piece of code. I hope so. So I don't know exactly where people are missing. We people are missing actually. So I have to check that particular thing. Like we people are providing M3 and as well as a column number. What are the column that we do require? That is container. One container. We do have added a container and justifying that particular thing. And column. Okay. Here in this particular column, we don't require that one particular extra column. And do refresh. Yeah, it was moved into the little bit center. At the same time, here you do have a one particular block. You have to write this particular div tag. You have to make this particular tag also into the center. So this align equals to center. Do remember and just make it as an execution part. Now we got everything over here according to our particular center, guys. So now once if it's done all this particular designing phase, so do remember everything has to be arranged in a proper manner, so that it will be very easy to get understand where exactly we people have been created any due. If we people created anywhere else, it will be very clear for us to get understand this particular thing. It's completely now it's completely fine, guys. Like we don't have any kind of problems as of now. Now entire design was done. This was a preview design that we have taken over here. Now we people has to make sure this particular every particular pages that has to be in a proper what we call alignment way. So for this, some kind of a CSS codes that we'll be implementing, that is m minus one and m minus one to get some kind of a spaces from the card. So m minus one. So every time you add, yeah, this one we have added and the primary key, and this one also that is mt. There is minus one or whatever you want to add. That is a button, and here I want to add these more details or details, whatever you want to add. You people can add your particular own button over there, and just click on that particular thing. You will get this particular add details basically. So that's fine now. We people have done represented our particular details and price, whatever you do require. You people have been implemented that particular piece of code. So once if it's done, now we people got everything over here in a proper manner, proper order, proper space, each and everything. That's good. That's very cool. Now we people has to arrange enter this particular code. If we don't have any kind of an products, we'll be getting this particular message. If else you don't have any kind of an block of code. So this is what we have been created in our particular class as of now. And in the two and next class we will be, when we click on this particular button known as a delete button, it has to get redirect basically from one particular page to another particular page. So we do have all these particular items now. Now we people has to make sure this particular preview code has to be provided. This means this particular block of code, whatever for loop, because every particular card has to get in a proper manner, right? So for that particular purpose, we'll be adding this particular thing that is known as this particular thing. Just refresh. Let us refresh and just check it out. So let's click on that. Yeah, we are getting everything into the side by side. Basically, I got every particular product side by side. So if you want to add any other particular product or any particular item, just you people can add. That is two. And let me check. Do I get three products aside? No. There is three. And if you decrease this particular size to anything like four or three, that's well and good. Yeah, I got three particular products in a particular row. If you want to decrease the size and each and everything that you people can arrange. This is in a view format. In the next class, like we will be providing more details actually on this particular assignment. Like after clicking on this particular detail, it has to show to the next particular page. So that is what we have to create in our particular piece of code. So this is what we created, a particular small code on the else statement. If we have a for loop, we'll be adding this particular for loop over here to get the card. And this particular block of code, that is, if the condition is true, automatically our particular products are going to show. If there is no particular products in our particular database, it is going to show our particular no products found. So this is what we have shown our particular details. Thank you guys. We'll check in the next class how to check our details. That is more details page. Thank you.